Chord diagrams are really easy to read. They look like this, and they have a picture of this. Usually it's the first 3 frets, but it could be any number of frets for beginning courses. It's going to be just 3 frets, maybe 4 once in a while. So it represents this part of the ukulele right here, and it's as if it was turned this way. And it has a series of dots and numbers on there that tell you what to do. So let's do a C chord, which is this. The diagram looks like that. And that tells you, since it's shaped like this, that means like that, unless you're left-handed, in which case it's like that. But I'm going to play right-handed, since most of you are right-handed. And it has a dot on the 3rd fret of the A string. So that's this string here, the one farthest out that way. Turning this way, it's the one on the bottom physically, but sonically the highest sounding, so it's called the top string, or string number 1, even though it's actually physically on the bottom. So it's got a dot there, and that dot tells you to play on the 3rd fret. You can tell by counting on the diagram how many frets over. Is it 1, 2, and 3? And it may have a number on there, but that number does not represent which fret. That number is something else I'll get to in a minute. First, let's find out which fret. Fret 3. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, it's the space, not the metal stick. It's that space between. The 3rd space. So it's this. And if you're in tune, it should sound like this. And then the other 3 strings have nothing on them, so that in a chord diagram means you play them all. If you were not supposed to play some of the strings, then there would be a little X out to the side like this, and that X means don't strum that string, just leave it alone. Sometimes you'll see a number 3 there, not usually, but maybe in a beginner series you might see a number 3. The number 3 in this case for diagrams represents which finger to use. So your fingers are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't use your thumb very often in ukulele, and we're not going to use it at all in this class, so we'll just go with 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see a 3 there, so it's finger 1, 2, 3, your ring finger, which goes 3rd fret, high string. And then there are no X's on the diagram, so that means you strum all 4 strings. And that's a C chord. Should sound like this. If it doesn't match, then you're out of tune. It's important to use the right fingers, because if you use a different finger, for example, let's say you thought, well, I can play that just as well with my index finger. Yes, it does sound exactly the same, and it's easy. But the problem comes when you change to the next chord, because now you've got to take that finger off and figure out some new kind of a position, whatever the new chord has. And if you have the regular standard C, it's the standard fingering for a reason, because most of the time it's going to make it easier to change chords. Playing a chord is easy. It's the transition that is difficult. When you first start strumming, I'm going to give you some easy beginner songs that I wrote, and those are coming in a couple of lessons from now. When you play those, it's going to be easy to play those chords, because within a couple of weeks, you're going to be pretty good at the basic chords. But transitioning is tricky, because you've got to take your finger off, figure out what happens next, and it's going to take you a while. It's hard, and it might take you a month or 2 to really feel like you've got it memorized. Eventually, if you play regularly, you're going to memorize it, and you won't have to think about it. It's like tying your shoes. You just will be able to do it. But for example, C and A minor, we've learned those 2 chords. So here's a C, and here's an A minor. It's very simple. You just go like that, barely any movement in your hands. Whereas if you did it with this finger, then you've got to do a little bit more manipulation to figure out how to do it. And also, when you've got the C in place, if you know the next chord is A minor, you can have that finger ready to go. Just kind of drift it over there above the string, so that when you change, you're just kind of lifting one and pressing down on the other. And you'll see that pattern of chords a lot. C to A minor is a very common pattern in ukulele, because it's so easy. C, A minor, F. And we'll get to more of that when we get to the beginner songs. But use the correct fingering. And if you're not sure what the correct fingering is, look at my other videos, because I've got a lot of sections there where I give you close-ups on exactly which fingering to use. You don't always see the fingering numbers on a chord chart. So look at my videos, and I usually do put them on some of my other ones.